People frequently ask me for an alternative to Adobe Lightroom, so I did my research and testing to find the best alternatives out there. And there's one very promising free and open source alternative that just started its development in June 2025 called RapidRAW. And Rapid also applies to its speed of development. I've already tried it multiple months ago and just started testing it again and could already feel and see major improvements. So let's go over what the software has to offer. Before we get to the actual editing features, I want to talk over some of its management features, as that stops a lot of people from switching over to existing open source RAW editors like Darktable. And in RapidRAW, you basically start the software and open the directory where your photos are in, and then get this grid overview. From there, you can add star ratings and tags to your photos. And you can also select multiple photos to apply tags to all of them at once. And you can just use the search bar to filter your photos for these tags. If that's too much work for you, you can also let RapidRAW automatically add tags to all of your photos by using AI image recognition. The AI model is being run locally on your PC, and in my tests it performed quite well and successfully recognized subjects like landscapes, mountains, people and moods and added tags accordingly. Though I was a bit confused at the beginning because the AI doesn't use the tags you can specify yourself to quickly add them to photos manually. So I searched for the portrait tag, which is one of the default tags, and wondered why the other portraits didn't show up, because the AI didn't add the portrait tag to them, but other tags like person. For my tests, I've used both CC0 photos I found online and some of my own, and I noticed that a few of the downloaded photos were displayed with a very aggressive pink tint. So I've searched for this problem and found out it also is an existing problem in other RAW editors like Lightroom. Not sure why this happens, but doesn't seem to be a problem that's exclusive to RapidRAW. So yeah, I reported that issue and just 2 days later it got patched. Apparently the problem comes from the images already being demosaiced, which is usually a process you want your RAW editor to perform. So now I no longer get that pink tint. But since I've already finished the video and all of the recording before the patch, you will probably see them appear in some of the following segments, so don't be irritated by that. Also, a few of those images now received green tint instead, but these at least were easier to handle than that aggressive pink tint, which I couldn't really remove in post. Probably just a matter of time until that gets fixed. And I mean, imagine you would run into this issue in Lightroom. Do you think anybody would even respond to you within just 2 days? Highly appreciating the dedication of the developer here. The user interface of RapidRAW is pretty simple and clean. By default, it comes in a dark theme, but you also have a selection of different themes you can choose if that isn't your thing. There's also a setting called Adaptive Editor Theme, which will adjust the colors of sliders when editing your photos to match the colors of the photo you're working with. And it also updates after making adjustments to your image. So let's start talking about the editing of RapidRAW. Again, everything seems pretty simple and straightforward, but you have all your basic adjustments you would expect. You can control the brightness, contrast, highlights, shadows, add color grading, adjust the vibrance and saturation, adjust individual hues, and control the details like clarity, dehazing, and structure. And you can preview the adjustments you make in real time. When I first tested RapidRAW a few months ago, it only updated the preview after releasing the handle, so it's good to see that it's actually in active development. This makes working with RapidRAW just feel a lot more responsive. And you might have noticed that the preview is kinda noisy and not in full quality until you release the handle, but you can actually just activate a higher quality preview at the cost of using more system resources. My PC was able to handle it just fine while also recording it. What has been kinda awkward was that I could only find the option to add film grain, but not the option to denoise your photo. Turns out you have to right-click your image down here and expand this dropdown to open up the denoiser. Personally, I think this could be made more intuitive. Other than film grain, you can apply further effects like vignetting. Some adjustments are invisible by default, so you first have to toggle them in the settings, like the adjustments for controlling chromatic aberration. I also want to mention that it is very easy to reset an adjustment to its default value. All you have to do is to click on the name of the adjustment. And with the new update, you also get access to 3 new effects, which include a bloom glow effect, halation, which adds that red glow you know from film, and also a lens flare effect, which will kinda scatter the highlights of the image into a few more light rays. It's pretty easy to crop your images in RapidRAW. You just select the aspect ratio you want, or set it to 3 if you don't want any specific aspect ratio, and then you just drag and resize a box on your photo. You also have tools for perspective and lens corrections, but in my tests it wasn't able to recognize the lens from my photos. But I think the database it is using just didn't have the cameras and lenses I've used, as I also couldn't find them manually. But I guess that will just be added over time. Another cool feature of RapidRAW is the collage tool, where you can create an assembly of multiple photos. And it's super quick and easy to do. You just select all images that should be part of the collage and then access the tool by right-clicking and selecting it from the context menu. Depending on the amount of images, you get different layouts to choose from. And you can just change the order of the photos by dragging them around. Adjusting the framing of them also can easily be achieved by holding left click to move them and scrolling to scale them. You can also use the collage feature on a single image to create a frame. You can also apply corrections only to certain objects in your scene by using masks. And again, it has a locally run AI, which helps you to automatically create masks for the subject of your scene, which you can also guide by roughly drawing around the object you want to select. And it also lets you create automatic masks for more specific stuff, like selecting the entire sky of your image. These masking tools also work in combination of removing objects of your scene, but in my tests, the in-painting results didn't look too good. Though I have to add that you can also set up your own AI using Comfy UI to use it in RapidRAW. It's also pretty easy to create a preset from your color corrections. And you can also download a few selected community presets right within RapidRAW. So if you want to apply those presets to other photos of yours, you can just use the preset browser, or from the preview down here, you can just copy the adjustments of it and then paste it to other photos. All in all, I think RapidRAW is very promising and already feels very nice to use since it is fully GPU accelerated. Of course, I talk more about the negative aspects of something when I review it, but you can be assured that everything I didn't point out felt great, or at least as expected. So definitely check it out if you're looking for a free Lightroom alternative. Maybe you even find some bugs to report to help making RapidRAW even better. That was everything from my end. Like and hype the video if you want to, and submarine to my channel. Have a wonderful day, bye.